Hey gang, glad you're back. Picking up off of the corkscrew. Hey, where are we? Okay, we're going to go into controlling our midline, into controlling the midline of our body, so that as I were to come to the plate and I hit my setup, it would be just splitting myself right in half and being able to control that midline, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, your legs, strides, whatever, I would not consider a part of the swing itself. It's just, for me, it's a part of the setup. But for the most part, I look at the legs. Can they create a little bit of momentum into my swing? Yes, they can, to a degree, to some degree. However, for the most part, for me, they serve as a platform to allow me to rotate. Okay, so it's one of the things that I'm looking for is to have a strong front side. If I don't have that, a lot of times we'll start losing our hands and we'll start throwing hands early. So moms, dads, coaches, when you're out there, especially when you're working with young players, what you might see a lot of times is kids do a really nice job of getting into the initial turn, and then about right here, they'll just give up and they'll throw their hands. Okay? And that's something that we're not looking for. We want them to hold their shape, to begin to understand. And when we're talking about timing, this becomes important. Now, is it absolutely wrong to throw hands? No, it's never absolutely wrong. There could be a time when that happens. There could be a time when I'm just trying to make a hit and run happen. It could be a time when I'm trying to save a swing and not strike out. It's going to happen, right? But as a rule of thumb, especially early in counts or in aggressive swing counts where I'm trying to work, then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to maintain shape. And in order for me to maintain shape, both sides, back leg, front leg, at some point they have to, I call it hip lock, all right? And so that front side has to lock. They have to stabilize. So we need good stabilization through that. So the next piece that we would go through, once I hit my corkscrew, I'm just working on landing in a stabilized pattern. Boom. I'm controlling my mid-weight. I could be slightly behind, just ever so slightly, okay? Not so much in that stacked look that everybody wants to talk about where we're sitting back, okay? I'm probably a little bit more forward than most people, and most people will give you a hard time about it, but I'm not going to argue with our guys who are routinely hitting, you know, and again, who I'm working with, my age brackets, but I've got kids who are up to 103, I've got kids who are over 95, right? And that's not a coincidence, okay? And we're talking exit velocities, I'm sorry. So what happens is we're going to come down to that front foot plant, okay? So we go corkscrew to front foot plant. Okay, I don't get real rambunctious. Again, one of the things I'm looking at when we do this is that the hands didn't leak forward when I hit at the foot stride, and my bat's in the square. All right, my bat's in the square, and I've got a little of a downward angle working, so I'm able to get to this. And to me, at this point, the most important aspect is what I would refer to as that bat gap, having my midline and being strong on the front side, okay? That becomes important. So, as you are now looking, we haven't even begun a swing. We are not swinging yet. We are just into the setup. What's going to happen next is indeed going to be the swing. And one of the things now that we're going to start to look for are leaks. And the leaks would happen in this little bit of a hip sway. My feet feel locked, but I get this little hip sway. It could be that I get a little handsy and I push and I lose my barrel. I'm dumping barrel. I get decently and I throw my hands. Or I never hip lock and I just rotate right through the front hip. Okay? Those are probably the four biggest areas that we're seeing, especially with younger hitters. Okay? But when I'm looking at it, when I'm feeling it, when I'm in the middle of it, when I'm being thrown to, this is what I want to do. Here's where a tee can help me. It can help me feel the hip slide if I'm going to take a video of it. The video is for you. It's not for coaches. It's for you as a player. Okay? Can I feel it? Am I aware of it? Okay, hip lock to front foot plant. Hip lock to front foot plant. Okay? You can add your T. You can add a ball there if you wanted to. Okay? But now we are just beginning to understand that. We're looking at controlling the midline. All right? So that's where we are today. So far we've got corkscrews, controlling the midline to the front foot plant. Okay? Till next time. See you soon.